Hello, hello. Oh, she's back.
In the polls, you see the mistakes have been made. You perhaps wouldn't have an election. That makes no sense. That literally makes no sense to say, well, the party.
Oh, I thought she left. Okay. Hmm. Oops. Oh. Uh, you go there? I thought Helena's stream had collapsed there. Jumped the gun a bit there. Ah. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. I have no idea what to cover for Helena is still alive. Maybe numpty. Hmm. Hmm. The one that sticks out in my head the most, the 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 quality of those videos would be shite. Mm, mm. Would you go to? Yeah, we'll go to K. K is good people. I'll put K up. Oh no, God. Would he mind? I don't think he would mind. Give me a minute. Sorry, Simon. I'll be a good little girl. Mm. Mm. I thought Helena's stream had died. That's why I went live so I could carry on and like go back to the beginning so you could maybe hear me. Is Helena still going, Scribby? I was just looking for things to show, and I was going to show either one of the ones about where it, oh, I was fucking last year you done that one about here, or where is it? Back on ways. And I set through that one again. I kept on yelling at it, and I said as much to Sinan. He knows that I love him though. Praise be, SK the Crusader. After all, that was quite fun. Oh, yeah, she played. Fuck it, fuck it. Excellent. Feel free to go back over and watch her playing Pathologic. I've already played the first two games. The third one's already been liked. I'm waiting for it to drop next year. Well, 2 months essentially. It will be up on iPlayer now, won't it? So I won't need to get copyright cut because I'm actually streaming on my YouTube as well. iPlayer. How bad did Glassman get? Well, I suppose we're about to find out. Oh, I'm not in my YouTube channel. I'm not in my. I can see my YouTube. I cannot see my Twitch. Praise be, everyone. Resident philosopher. Nice buddy. Why the fuck did you shut down? You're fully charged, you bastard. Phone with SIM in it, because you can tell by the lovely marble type phone case. SIMless bastard with Wonder Woman stickers on it. I can type, honestly. Yeah, fucking bring it on. I think this is the freshest I've ever fucking got to Newsnight before. Fuck it, yeah, bring it on.
Tonight, allies of Sir Keir Starmer are making
Hi,
it clear
Vicky.
he will fight any attempt to challenge him. His critics tell Newsnight that Downing Street is deluded and they're entering tinfoil hat territory. What on earth is
Oh my
going
god,
on?
I've already got
We'll bring you the
Ferocious.
inside track. Plus, ahead of a key vote to end the longest government shutdown in US history, could the Epstein files be set for release, despite President Trump saying they're a hoax?
They're not Donald. Just saying. Oh, damn. I didn't see it.
President Trump saying they're a hoax.
Hold down. Trip. Oh, trip, you bastard. Oh, not again. I've got to fix this. Christ's sake. Right. Need to go back into my.
Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday's Newsnight, live from Broadcasting House with insight on political, media and
Can you
international
hear the
stories
video now?
each weeknight. Hello. Developing story tonight. Allies of the Prime Minister are making it clear he would fight any challenge to his leadership from Labour MPs. Let me introduce your Newsnight panel this evening. Lord Maurice Glassman is a Labour peer, father of the socially conservative, economically left-wing.
I need to go back into my settings. So, I think that's weird. Yeah. Oh, you fucking idiot. Oh, you. That's why people.
Blue Labour movement, reportedly a big influence on those advising Sir Keir Starmer in number 10. Baroness Arlene Foster served as Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday's Newsnight, live from Broadcasting House with insight on political, media and international stories each weeknight. Hello. Developing story tonight. Allies of the Prime Minister.
Can you hear me? And can you hear Victoria? Please. What I had done, I forgot. This is essentially a 4-in-1. So, ring light, webcam, recorder, and yeah, I'll need to rejig my mixer here. Um, what do I need to? Oh,
Are making it clear he would fight any challenge to his leadership from Labour MPs. Let
oi.
me introduce your Newsnight panel this evening. Lord Maurice Glassman is a Labour peer, father of the socially conservative, economically left-wing Blue Labour movement, reportedly a big influence on those advising Sir Keir Starmer in number 10. Baroness Arlene Foster served as DUP's First
Hello.
Minister of Northern Ireland and now sits as a non-affiliated member of the House of Lords. And Nick is here too. What's going on?
Well, Vic, what we know is right now there is a rift between the two people who we thought were closest in this government and were essential to the stability of this cabinet, and that is Keir Starmer and his Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. There are people in Downing Street who believe that Wes Streeting is on manoeuvres, hence you reporting those remarks that we've heard that the Prime Minister would fight a challenge and it would be irresponsible, they say, for a challenge to be launched. That has produced quite a response in parts of this government. One person
Really?
has said to me, these briefings out of 10 are not accidental. They don't believe that people are speaking out of turn. I'm being told it's things like this, a pattern of behaviour that has followed Keir Starmer.
Wait a minute. I've been on to sound.
From opposition to number 10, which is people around him brief against people. Who was briefed against? Lisa Nandy. Bridget Phillipson was briefed against, and then they said then she was their candidate to be deputy leader. Ed Miliband's been briefed against, Angela Rayner's been briefed against, and now they're saying it is Wes Streeting's turn. Perhaps it.
Even I can hear that echo. I can't remember how I fixed it the last time. Give me a minute. There is one surefire way to change this.
Would be a good idea. I've been told that perhaps the Prime Minister and the Chancellor might want to focus on the budget. I think the view in number 10 tonight is that this has sort of got a little bit out of control. They think it's overwritten, and there is the word that.
Did you all hear the video? I can still hear it coming out of the speakers. Is it echoing? Oh, it took me and my main mod months to figure this out. Leftist tech issues, they do exist, obviously. I'm here. You know what would solve all my problems? If I get rid of that 4-in-1 that I just kicked off my desk. If anyone's wanting a 4-in-1 with mic, speaker, ring light, and camera, you can DM me if you want and tell me your nearest Amazon Dropbox or a actual PO box shop thing if they still exist.
Wes Streeting, I'm told they think is a brilliant health secretary. From Wes Streeting, I'm told these claims about him, his spokesperson is saying these claims are categorically untrue. He's focused on cutting waiting lists for the first time in 15 years and rebuilding the NHS.
Nothing whatsoever that is in the public realm now. Oh God, I hope they get decimated next year. I really do. I made a correction in Helena's chat that they won't get wiped out up here. The way the voting system works for Holyrood, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong, it's better than first past the post. Constituencies, still the same as Westminster, but the list system, the Dahon system, makes it a little bit better. A little bit. Unfortunately not, Cathier. Don't worry, the months will fly and if it keeps on going like this. Blinking, it'll be Christmas Day. Then sneeze, and it'll be me. Just think about what fun things we've yet to find out. I bet if you tried to write this as a sort of political satire or thriller, maybe, publisher would laugh at you. Not now. That's our politics, everyone. Fun. I've been saying the same shit for the last 25 fucking years. Will I be listened to? Apparently not. Well, who am I? Just a leftist woman. And streamer. And political dissident.
That saved his life.
Right. Why are
Really?
allies of the Prime Minister briefing media outlets this now? We've got the budget.
They've been briefing against each other since last July, Vicky, essentially, since they've gone to power. And they've been briefing against each other when they were in opposition as well. Adults in the room, anyone. Put me in charge. I could run the whole kit and caboodle. And you just have me yelling at myself. Not an entire fucking cabinet. Fucking hell. I thought the Tories were bad. These Labour right people are driven a hell of a lot more destructive than the Tories ever were. Historically, it has been more the Tories that have been like this than Labour. They're usually a little bit more coherent, front facing at least. But it's kind of like to shit rather quickly, hasn't it?
In a couple of weeks.
Mother of all parliaments, everyone.
Scottish and Welsh elections in May. What's the relevance of the timing?
It is a very febrile atmosphere in government, in the cabinet at the moment. We've been reporting about how there has been basically overconfidence in Keir Starmer's
Yes,
leadership and a feeling that maybe he would struggle to make it through the Welsh and the Scottish
go and
elections
fod downstairs.
next
Go and
May.
fall.
What's happened in the last week is that amongst many members of the cabinet, that intervention by Rachel Reeves that was meant to sort of punch through and explain what she means with the budget. That did not go down well. I was picking up from members of the cabinet really long faces and saying, you know, this really shows that Rachel Reeves and Prime Minister cannot do this fundamental thing of telling a story. So there is despair. But from people who are sort of Wes Streeting's friends, this has not been authorised by Wes Streeting, but people who sort of...
I wonder who. Do we want to think? It was the puppet master. Maybe he got spooked seeing Lucy Powell and Angela Rayner sitting next to each other in the backbenches. That might be quite funny to think about. Yeah, and I did notice that Raptor was saying the 8 who voted with the GOP fucking bastards, none of them are up for re-election next year. Chuck, you suck. Yeah, I do check in. And obviously the government shut down. I've got American friends, obviously. My main mod, currently not in our homes. Well, technically neither of them. They're, oh no, hang on. Yes, Cappy is. But my main mod is from New Jersey. But they live in Phoenix. Tuck tuck. Exactly. I drop kick 'em like a football. You're the American football or a rugby ball over here, if you wish. Mind you, a swift kick to the knackers might actually sort them out. You can think of that. What I mean by that, at least, you can get the drift. Yeah, none of them have re-election next year. Deeply fucking cynical. They're Carls. Your duopoly sucks arse. Our current Labour government sucks arse. Sometimes they might actually do decent policies, but we're not getting that from this Labour government because they're not Labour. They're not my idea of Labour, obviously. My idea of Labour actually says Scottish National Party or Scottish Greens. Well, eco-socialist here. Seriously, I hope they all get fucking brutalised next year in the local elections in England and the Senate and holiday elections in Wales and Scotland. They fucking deserve nothing less. Case in point, this.
Are sort of in the West Streeting world. Hearing things like this is crazy briefing from number 10 tonight.
We're
They're
all
telling
living in
us
it now.
we are entering tin foil hat territory.
Okay. I'm told that we've got a Labour MP, Barry Gardner, who's just walked into the studio. Hello. Come in. Come in. Just arrived.
Join the party.
Why don't you cross all the cameras, do the thing we're not supposed to do in television, come and sit here.
Yeah, there we go. Lovely.
Welcome. You know Lord Glassman, I assume?
Hello, of course.
You know
Oh,
Baroness
hi,
Foster, and you know
Hi,
Nick.
darling.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, you missed Nick's briefing. Lord Glassman heard it. I'm sure you know what's going on. First of all, Lord Glassman, do you support Keir Starmer as Prime Minister right now?
Yeah, definitely. And Wes Streeting is a very new Labour. I absolutely dispute, Nick, that he's the closest person to Keir Starmer.
Morris, Morris, you're all Leaverite scum. So now you might recognise this name. One of this individual's friends Bannon. Very much Labour, I guess. Morris, you do realise that Steve Bannon's a fucking anti-Semite, don't you? He's essentially a fascist.
He's a Blairite apparatchik out the student union, so all they know is leadership battles and motions and things.
Wes Keating was the head of the National Union of Students when he was at university. I am very au fait with that position. I knew someone who was head of the NUS as well. Not Wes Keating, I've never met the man. But someone else. Thank you. That's all I'll say. But yeah. Things of a natural nature might happen. Sort now. Shall we continue?
Like this. It's of no relevance whatsoever. The Prime Minister won the biggest election victory since 1830, a year and a half ago, and I can't see.
And in short order, they've killed it due to basically dog shit policies and not lifting dog shit that the Tory scumbags done to us for 14 years, Morris. He says he's left economically. I'm doubtful of that one, personally. He is a peer after all. You don't get out of this life alive. I can say that for everyone at least. We all will go the way of the dodo at some point.
Any candidate who could possibly challenge him. I think it's just noise.
Just noise, Barry Gardner. What are you picking up on your WhatsApp group amongst Labour MPs?
You're just noise, Morris.
Morris is right that we have 161 majority, isn't it? Working majority. It's enormous.
It's 148 now, by the way, but whatever.
So the question is.
And just like Helena said, I will basically just parrot because she's better at the economic side of things than I am. I'm more about social issues, health and disability. But at least from my basic economic understanding, having been alive for 46 years at this point, yeah, just because you've got that stonking majority doesn't mean fucking anything. Case in point, Boris Johnson. Just saying. He had one of the largest majorities in the post-war era that a Tory government's ever had. He kicked out 82, 83 backbenchers because they voted against his Brexit deal. Just because you still have the government, you still have backbenchers. And another one, Theresa May. Fucking hell, these people.
Why has number 10 circled the wagons?
Tell me why.
Why are they having to defend themselves? Well, the answer is very clear. Because this government...
Look at that odious little prick there. No, not Barry. He's Wes is younger than me, by the way. Fuck off, Wesley.
From the beginning, actually from before it was a government, has cared more about extirpating the people who disagreed with it than they have about setting out a clear program and policy. And quite honestly, you know, everyday people looking at this tonight are going to say, oh, for God's sake, what do these politicians think
Got to
they're
pay
doing?
money to shoot
You know,
that man's hand.
you circle the wagons and you end up in a circular firing squad. That's what they're doing. And people want a government that is going to say, this is what.
I'm loath to agree with Barry, but yeah. He just doesn't he? Hopefully this will put pay to him becoming Prime Minister ever. Time will tell, of course.
What we're about. They don't know. That's why our poll ratings are so low. I mean, Morris talks about a great majority, but actually, people are looking to this government and saying, "What? What are you giving us? You had 10 pledges when you started off in campaigning to be the leader of the
Oh
party.
dear God.
You jettisoned them all.
Oh yeah, you
There
said
is
the other
no
night.
clear
We'll
program,
go on to
and
that after this then,
actually, the
Spirit.
public
Thank
are
you.
fed up with it, and it's reflected in the polls.
Baroness Foster, you sort of know essentially what it's like to be shot by a circular firing squad.
Yes, I do,
there was essentially.
Jeffrey Donaldson, anyone? The DUP are just as bad, by the way. As the Democratic Unionist Party, by the way, founded by Reverend Ian Paisley. Get suddenly out of Ireland. I hope you're burning, you fucking ghoul. Say hi to Maggie for me, please, as well. So, this is basically an Ulster Unionist. There is only Ireland, by the way. Thank you.
A coup against you in 2021. Are there any parallels here? Clearly your position was First Minister.
We saw that coming a mile off.
But when you feel that people start to turn against you.
Yeah, well, the one thing for sure is once you become leader or Prime Minister or First Minister, everybody wants your job, and immediately people are saying that they could do a better job. Look, there are problems at the moment. The Labour government, and these two gentlemen may not agree with me, are losing support in the country. They don't have a clear message as to what is going on with the
Yours never done that either, at all, ever, since your founding by said Ian Paisley. You have had spats on ongoing throughout your political movement. I mean, you have, trust me on that one. And this whole buddy romance fucking Trimble and Paisley. Don't get me started. The pair of them were fucking enemies for decades. You all played nicey, but you were all. He thought it was like, apparently, as far as certain people that I've talked to. The people who told me stuff within what was happening within both camps across in Ireland. I will not say how I know things, but I do. I just not doing it.
this government, and therefore people are they're way down in the polls, and people are reacting to that, and that is why there's a circling of the wagons, and that is why people are talking about leadership challenges, because of the poll ratings at the moment, and that's what's causing the problems.
Lord Glassman, you heard what Barry Gardiner said. This government has no clear vision, and do you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is the problem. Nobody.
For saying there's only Ireland. Irish family, well, Irish in-laws. For all intents and purposes, my stepdad's Irish. His his a couple of his older siblings, one of his older siblings, and you know, his two older siblings were both born in Ireland. No, actual Ireland. This was before the partition. So they were born in Ireland. He was born here in Scotland because his family had the partition. They moved over to Scotland for reasons. Funny that. Some Catholics moving over to Scotland. I wonder why. Mostly Glasgow, obviously, and some to Liverpool, Manchester, blah blah blah. But my stepdad's parents moved to my hometown of Perth, which was deeply Protestant. I think that's where my stepdad's granddad as well, got work. So they moved over to Perth back then, over a century ago, oddly enough.
Expected the Conservatives to disintegrate as they did. In 2019.
Right, but I'm asking about your government now.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is, I mean, I was part of that conversation. We thought we had two terms. You know, the first one was to actually.
With these piss poor Blairite bastards, are you mad? It did kind of happen when Tony was Prime Minister, Morris. You do know that you've been in the Labour movement for fucking decades, man. Ugh, fucking hell. See, he's just too shielded now. He might have had maybe a little bit, maybe some realization of what it was like on the ground back in the day, but he's been in the fucking Lords for 20 years now at this point, I think. Nearly 20 years, I believe. He's definitely been in the Lords since before Cameron became Prime Minister. That much I do know, but I can't remember if it was either a good few years before it or a good bit before it. You know what's been these Blairites, they never fucking learn, do they? We've been basically telling you to change, get better at least. They never fucking do they? Yeah. Oh God. And you know you done that delivery. You know what Robin I instinctively go for with those naughty Scrubby, naughty.
Get rid of sort of racist and lunatic politicians in the Labour Party, i.e. the Labour leadership at that time. We had to do a lot of work there. And I think the second term was going to be developing policy. It all happened quick. So, yeah, there isn't a clear direction. There isn't a clear strategy. But none of the MPs, none of the candidates challenging Keir have any idea either. This is the point. This is a very deep ideological, in a new era. Working class vote is absolutely fundamental.
There's another Stormyrite you forgot to mention there, Morris. His name is Steve Reid. And he's only 2 years younger than Starmer. He's been in the Labour movement for a fucking decade since Blair became leader. Just saying. You 4 years? He's older than Super Hubby. Either he's either 60 or 61, Steve Reed, I believe. Okay, I'm going to check now, in case I've aged him. Hang on, I checked the other two. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh. Steve, right? Hang on. Same age? Hang on a minute. Here. There's only, he's on Steve Reed is only a year younger than Starmer. So yeah, I was right. I thought he was maybe 59 or 60. But there's only a year between two. There's another Blairite. You're forgetting to mention. Maybe that's who's trying to circle the wagon so he can stay inside. There go being naughty again. Oh, poor Popper. What breed? There's some breeds that are more likely to get kidney stone sock now.
Brexit, which a lot of people in the PLP still dispute, is a seminal moment in our history. We need sovereign.
Me, genuinely, Cather? Fucking hell. Oh dear God. You're the other. Oh, can you get to a vet? Can you afford a vet? That's a that's a damn good question, Cathy. I'm not sure. Fuck it, Blue Heat. Or we can go for another Northern Woman and say Angela. You never know. Everything's basically been flung off the table's been flipped over end and everything's all up in the air, so who knows where the fucking crockery's going to break or fall. Boris Johnson. Don't give don't give him a political way back in, Cathy. You're naughty girl. Naughty. If he knows what's good for him, he will not enter into politics ever again in his life. What is he, 67 or something? Just stay the fuck away, Boris. Seriously, just no, just go, just fuck off, just stay away. Generally, from the current cabinet, tell the truth, Steve Reed, maybe. Who else have we got? Probably not Rachel. Bridget, doubtful. It won't be Shabana Mahmood. At least I don't think so, anyway. For more than that, for more than her, speak to Kev. Jess Rollins. I'm just going to name every fucking Labour woman MP or backbench, cabinet member or backbencher or junior minister at this point. With any fucking luck, it won't be the odious little prick. Christ, it would be worse. Number 10, West Streeting a fucking man frog. Seriously, there's another one. If either of those two become Prime Minister, I'm digging the ditch myself. Literally, I will go to my nearest B&Q and buy a fucking shovel. What else have we got? God, fucking no. Knowing my fucking luck just because I'm fucking Scottish, it'll be wouldn't be the first time do we like did we like Brown at PM? I wanted to show solidarity to a Scottish Protestant for just being in number 10 for a bit in a fifer. But then I remembered he's a fifer. Test? Needs to be a woman, yeah, it does. Go Hague, fuck it. West Streeting, if you know who that is. Natok. Rejoice, comrades. Natok is here. Hi. Labour Civil War. Currently brewing, or currently happening. Fuck it, how far in are we? We're only 8 minutes. Fuck it, do you want some political education, Natok? From this side of the Atlantic? Sorry to subject you all again to the start, but this is a lovely American, and he needs to see how dysfunctional our politics can get at times. Political dysfunction doesn't just happen in America, obviously. It happens across the globe. Natok, sit back and
Tonight,
laugh.
allies of Sir Keir Starmer are making it clear he will fight any attempt to challenge him. His critics tell Newsnight that Downing Street is deluded and they're
I
entering
will let this
tinfoil
play. I
hat
will be back.
territory. What on earth is going on? We'll bring you the inside track. Plus,
Civil
a
War.
key vote to end the longest government shutdown in US history. Could the Epstein
Stop,
files be set for release, despite President Trump saying they're a hoax?
stop, stop. Oh dear God.
Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday's Newsnight, live from Broadcasting House, with insight on political, media, and international stories each weeknight. Hello. Developing story tonight. Allies of the Prime Minister are making it clear he would fight any challenge to his leadership from Labour MPs. Let me introduce your Newsnight panel this evening. Lord Maurice Glassman is a Labour peer, father of the socially conservative, economically left-wing Blue Labour movement, reportedly a big influence on those advising Sir Keir Starmer in number 10. Baroness Arlene Foster served as DUP, First Minister of Northern Ireland, and now sits as a non-affiliated member of the House of Lords. And Nick is here too. What's going on?
Well, Vic, what we know is right now there is a rift between the two people who we thought were closest in this government and were essential to the stability of this cabinet, and that is Keir Starmer and his Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. There are people in Downing Street who believe that Wes Streeting is on manoeuvres, hence you reporting those remarks that we've heard that the Prime Minister would fight a challenge and it would be irresponsible, they say, for a challenge to be launched. That has produced quite a response in parts of this government. One person has said to me, these briefings out of 10 are not accidental. They don't believe that people are speaking out of turn. I'm being told it's things like this, a pattern of behaviour that has followed Keir Starmer from opposition to number 10, which is people around him brief against people. Who was briefed against? Lisa Nandy. Bridget Phillipson was briefed against, and then they said then she was their candidate to be deputy leader. Ed Miliband's been briefed against. Angela Rayner's been briefed against, and now they're saying it is Wes Streeting's turn. Perhaps it would be a good idea, I've been told, that perhaps the Prime Minister and the Chancellor might want to focus on the budget. I think the view in number 10 tonight is that this has sort of got a little bit out of control. They think it's overwritten, and there is the word that Wes Streeting, I'm told, they think is a brilliant health secretary from Wes Streeting. I'm told these claims about him, his spokesperson is saying these claims are categorically untrue. He's focused on cutting waiting lists for the first time in 15 years and rebuilding the NHS that saved his
Right. Why are allies of the Prime Minister briefing media outlets this now? We've got the budget in a couple of weeks. We've got local elections, Scottish and Welsh elections in May. What's the relevance of the timing?
It is a very febrile atmosphere in government, in the cabinet at the moment. We've been reporting about how there has been basically a loss of confidence in Keir Starmer's leadership and a feeling that maybe he would struggle to make it through the Welsh and the Scottish elections next year, next May. What's happened in the last...
I'll quickly say yes, he was going to struggle anyway. The level of discontent has been happening since basically the start of this year, so from basically from July to about Christmas last year. So like, well, settling in time. I'll give them a couple of. I'll give them so that the election was on the 4th of July. Oh, I fucking I nearly had a fit when I found out when Sunak announced it last summer. It's going to be on the 4th of July. What the fuck? They got doomed. So I'll give them the month of July. So August onwards until about Christmassy, roughly. Probably about a year ago, actually, roughly. Give or take a couple of weeks. From that point onwards until like Christmas time, till basically 2025 so far. Us Scots, nah. We've been rather upset with Labour. Again, who'd have thunk it? Playwrights in charge again. So what happened the last time? We basically rigged it. Said we got the new voting system explained to us, and we thought, right, no, we're fucking fed up. You set this up so no party would ever be in government. It would have to be coalition government that's up here in Scotland. Nope, we figured it out. So we got the maximum number of SNP people in. Funny that. Good policies were enacted. Thank fuck for that one. See what happens when the Blairites start pissing off their core voters, which is basically quite a lot of fucking Scottish people. Same's going to fucking happen again. Be sure your sins will find you out. The old religious saying. Apocryphally coined here in Scotland, apparently, but I say apocryphal. Wouldn't surprise me if it was, though. But citation needed.
last week is that amongst many members of the cabinet, that intervention by Rachel Reeves that was meant to sort of punch through and explain what she means with the budget, that did not go down well. I was picking up from members of the cabinet really long faces and saying, you know, this really shows that Rachel Reeves and Prime Minister cannot do this
Oh,
fundamental thing
thanks,
of
Salt now.
telling a story.
That's
So
good.
there is despair.
Nice one.
But from people who are sort of Wes Streeting's friends, this has not been authorised by Wes Streeting, but people who sort of are sort of in the Wes Streeting world. Hearing things like this is crazy briefing from Number 10 tonight.
That's it. He's going to have to explain that one. West Streeting World. What the fuck is that? And I hope not all of us are looking at it.
Deluded,
I missed that the
we
last time.
are entering tin foil hat territory.
Okay. I'm told that we've got a Labour MP, Barry Gardiner, who's just walked into the studio. Hello. Come in. Just arrived.
Join the party.
Why don't you cross all the cameras, do the thing we're not supposed to do in television, come and sit here.
Yeah, here we go. Lovely.
Welcome. You know Lord Glassman, I assume?
Hello, of course.
You know Baroness Foster, and you know Nick Watt. Welcome, everybody. Okay, you missed Nick's briefing. Lord Glassman heard it. I'm sure.
Of course he knows Morris Glassman, Vicky. God damn it. You have to remember that Barry's a fucking right as well. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Is losing it.
You know what's going on. First of all, Lord
Well, if he does
Glassman,
lose the whip
do
in
you
the next
support Keir
couple of
Starmer as
days,
Prime Minister right
obviously
now?
Yeah,
it will be mentioned on
definitely.
Politics Live
Wes Streeting
or
is
Newsnight
very,
later
very
on in the
Labour. I
week.
absolutely dispute, Nick, that he's the closest person to Keir Starmer here's a Blairite
That's
apparatchik
not
out
what
the
by the way.
student union. So all they know is leadership battles and motions and things like this. It's of no relevance whatsoever. The Prime Minister won the biggest election victory since 1830, a year and a half ago, and I can't
That's
see anyone
the
who can possibly
centre
challenge him. I
right
think
party,
it's
isn't
just
it?
noise.
So now, if I
Just
remember
noise,
correctly.
Barry Gardner. What are you? I mean, what are you picking up on your WhatsApp group amongst
Not
Labour
just
MPs?
Well,
noise
look,
models.
Morris is right that we have 161 majority, isn't it? Working majority. It's enormous.
It's 148 now, by the way, but whatever.
So the question is,
That doesn't mean anything.
why has number 10 circled the wagons?
Tell me why.
Why are they having to defend themselves? Well, the answer
Because
is
of
very
this
clear.
little fuck.
Because this government, from the beginning, actually from before it was a government,
Oh,
cared
they
more
Tory
about
bastards. Brilliant.
extricating the people who disagreed with it than they have about setting out a clear program and policy. And quite honestly, you know,
Back when he was at university, Barry was a socialist Christian. He's basically an Episcopalian. He would probably agree with me if I was to say to him, he was born here in Glasgow, by the way, oddly enough. Same birthday as me. Fucking freaky. And oddly enough, Boris Glassman's birthday 2 days before it. Funny. A lot of Labour who are from Scotland, and especially here in Glasgow or the west coast of Scotland, because the majority of Catholics were on the west coast for reasons, and the Protestants were mostly on the east coast where I was born and brought up. Ooh. Oh, are they the MAGA bastards? Thank you, so now. Do you need to be dissuaded from supporting that tangerine ball bag? Mind you, a lot of people do vote against their own self-interest, oddly enough. Case in point, most of the fucking cabinet. You did all run on the same party ticket, you fucking idiots.
everyday people looking at this tonight are going to say, oh, for God's sake, what do these politicians think they're doing?
Are they? Good.
You circle the
Good one.
wagons and you end up
People
in a
learn. Thank
circular
fuck.
firing squad. That's what they're doing. And people want a government that is going to say,
Same way
this
these
is what we're
bastards.
about. They don't know. That's why our poll ratings are so low. I mean, Morris talks
No
about
ill will towards
you know,
Barry or
great majority.
anything
But
for
actually,
what he's
people
doing
are
here,
looking
but
to this
other than
government and
that,
saying,
he's still right.
what are you giving us? You had 10 pledges when you started off in campaigning to be the leader of the party. You jettisoned them all.
Barry, Barry, can you hear me? Please, as a fellow Scottish person, please, my dude. They don't give a fuck about us up here. Don't. I thought you would have learned that by now. My man. Mr. E! Welcome, Mr. E. Casually was finds evident BBC propaganda and rhetoric information. I smell shite. What an unfortunate instance. Yeah. Hence the title of the stream, Labour Civil War. Rejoice, comrades, Mr. E is here. Hi. It's fun, isn't it? Apparently, we're a sensible country, mother of all parliaments and everything. Can I get some evidence for that, please? Seriously, I've been looking for evidence for the last year and a half roughly. Can't see it anywhere, at least on a Westminster level. I just want shot of all of them at this point. I really do. Just fuck off the lot of yous. I will give you to a certain extent, Zara, but I will give every last limb to have Stephen Flynn stay down in Westminster. He's the only decent one in there. That and Jenny. The Right Honourable Jenny, praise be. That is the guide dog for one of the Lib Dem MPs, by the way. You'll see her, she's a golden retriever, she's gorgeous. And I have an affinity for those dogs because I grew up with one.
There is no
I miss
clear
my dog.
program, and actually the public are fed up with it, and it's reflected in the
We've been
polls.
fed up for a
Prime
while,
Minister,
Barry.
you sort of know essentially what it's like to be
Yes.
shot by a circular firing
Yes,
squad.
I do,
There was
yeah.
essentially a coup against you in
Yeah.
2021.
Mm.
Is this? Are there any parallels here? Clearly, your position was First Minister of Northern Ireland. The Prime Minister is
Yeah.
a different.
Yeah.
But when you feel that people start to turn against you,
Yeah, well, the one thing for sure is once you become leader or prime minister or first minister, everybody wants your job, and immediately people are saying that they could do a better job. Look, there are problems at the moment.
Uh, there parallels. I suppose there could be parallels between her and fucking Salmond and Sturgeon, I guess. I didn't really like Alex Salmond. I did get enamoured of him when I was younger. Not by him as a man that I would feel attached to or anything like that. I got enamored with his policies, his rhetoric, the master orator that he was. But then I started having political discussions with my now dearly departed granddad, lifelong SNP supporter, lifelong independence supporter. I love my granddad. He was brilliant. And he sat me down at the age of 21 when I was living in Quebec at the time. Don't trust him. I know this man. I've worked with him. Do not trust him. So you're facing your hometown lass, Winnie. That's Winifred Ewing, by the way. Political dynasty from Perthshire. Or fighting Perth. Annabelle Ewing as well. But Winnie Ewing was fucking beast. I loved that woman so much. Didn't meet Winnie, but I met Annabelle Ewing. She was good. I liked her. And I've also met my hometown MP, who's Pete Wishart. Oh my god, there's two of them I want to keep in there. Pete Wishart and fucking Stephen Flynn. Please be Pete Wishart. You usually see him wearing a white suit of all things in the House of Commons. Pete, you're mental for wearing a white suit. Seriously. There is corollary, mostly, between Salmond and Sturgeon. Completely different economic policy from Sturgeon to Hamza Yusuf. He wanted to spend more on child welfare benefits, but they said, we won't get it through. That's when she first complicated backroom dealings with people within the SNP party. Kate Forbes, fuck it, she's leaving.
The Labour government, and these two gentlemen may not agree with me, are losing support in the country. They don't have a clear message as to what is going on with this government, and therefore people are they're way down in the
Big
polls,
mystery,
and people are reacting to that.
there's
And
more
that
of
is
us.
why there's a circling of the wagons, and that is why people are talking about leadership challenges, because of the poll ratings at the moment, and that's what's causing the problems.
Lord Glassman, you heard what Barry Gardiner said.
Because this Labour government's getting outflanked to the left by fucking Nigel. And obviously the more credible left wing option, which is the Green Party, headed by Zach Polanski. And Plaid Cymru in Wales and SNP up here. Just saying, and the Scots Greens up here as well. and some socialist and Marxist independents up here in Scotland in certain areas. Case in point, Little Marxist are here in Glasgow for reasons. I think there was a massive number of fucking former Trots here in Glasgow. Hello, I'm a former Trotskyist, by the way. Don't worry, I don't use them. Not Trot anymore, honestly.
This government has no clear vision, and do you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is the problem. Nobody expected the Conservatives to disintegrate as they did. In 2019,
Right, but I'm asking about your government now.
no, I get it.
The enmity had been building up for about the last 5 years of the fucking Tories at this point. You're saying so from basically the latter end of Boris onwards. They pretty much lost most of the north. I'd say the north of the UK, so basically most from north of Birmingham upwards to the north. We all fucking hated yous. Well, the Tories and some of you Stirlite fuckers. I thought we'd seen pay to all the playwright fucking Labour bastards that were Scottish MPs. But no, they just keep on coming back. Annoying the fuck out of me. Case in point, the cunt. I was celebrating when I heard that fucking Ian Murray had been canned, then fucking Douglas Alexander came back. We're doomed. We're never going to get rid of these playwright Scottish fuckers. We're not. I'm sure of it. Unless I literally go around to all the like, fuck it, I've got a friend over there now. I might actually just go and say hi to my friend and say, do you want to try and get rid of your MP? Dan, where are you? Oh God, I've not actually announced myself on the Discord yet. Oh fuck, I'll just leave it.
What I'm saying is, I mean, I was part of that conversation. We thought we had two terms. You know, the first one was to actually get rid of sort of racist and lunatic politicians in the Labour Party, i.e., the Labour leadership at that time.
Your faction of the party created that. You were briefing against your own party leader, who was democratically voted for within the rules of the party. So no, I'm not having that one. Fuck you, Morris Glassman. I'm not calling you Lord. None of you should fucking exist. None of yous. You two there, Arlene and fucking Morris, no. Deeply undemocratic. Rejoice. I'm getting angry now. Fucking
We
hell.
had to do a lot of work there. And I think the second term was going to be developing policy. It all happened quick. So, yeah, there isn't a clear direction. There isn't a clear strategy. But none of the MPs, none of the candidates challenging Keir have any idea either. This is the point. This is a very deep ideological, in a new era. Working class vote is absolutely fundamental. Brexit, which a lot of people in the PLP.
You have lost the working class vote in great swaths of the country, not just Scotland, just the whole of the UK. I will say again, be sure your sins will find you out. Mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, I read a story about that earlier on. So now, what the fuck? Would you want to become a state or do you want a country? I know how you can get a country. Not advocating for violence, obviously. Right. Solidarity, my friend. Solidarity. I wonder why that is. Capitalism really does fucking suck.
Still dispute is a
Not
certain
that
moment
this
in our
individual
history. We
would
need
know that.
sovereignty. We need to stop the boats. We need an industrial strategy. We need to rebuild the army.
Your playwright wankery are not doing that, Morris. They want an industrial strategy. They could maybe be building more houses, more council housing, more social housing. Stop using fossil fuels, creating actual renewable energy for this country. Not introducing a tax on electric vehicles. That might be an idea for her not to do that one. Just saying. Plenty of shit she could be doing. Great, she's going to be lifting the two-child cap. She could have done that last budget, a year ago. She could have. She could have done that. She didn't. Yay! Let's rejoice for starving children for one whole year just because. Ideology. There's so much she could be doing. We'll see. You never know. She might get spooked more. Or Morgan McSweeney might get spooked more. Who knows? Someone else might get beat against in the press. And at that point, you'll not see the grin leave my face. Adults in the room. Really. Adults? Yeah.
Rebuild trust in the police and the BBC as well.
And you don't want anything like kind of leadership chatter
No,
to get in the way of that.
Look, Barry, this is not the Alamo, and the wagons are not being
So late.
circled here. I think
No.
I really
Sorry,
don't
Morris,
think it's like that.
Morris, it was number 10 that has briefed against most of the cabinet colleagues. Let's be clear about it. They briefed against Angela. They briefed against keep the whole scene rolling. They're the ones who have circled the wagons.
Oh,
They're the ones who are trying to defend themselves, but they're attacking all the people.
You want to know something? They briefed against Angela, that's Angela Rayner, the former deputy party leader and deputy prime minister. They briefed against Lisa Nandy, who is the current is at time of recording DCMSA Department for the Culture, Media and Sports. They briefed against Lou Haig, who was Transport Secretary at the time. So they've all been briefing against women. Joy, misogyny. I thought we looked. I was going to say I thought we lived in an equal society here in the UK. They tell me I live in an equal society. Really? Evidence, please. Anyone? Can you give me evidence? I am disabled. I am poor. I'm working class. I'm a Marxist. That one's last, of course. The disabled, poor woman and degenerate streamer. If you want to laugh. But no, most of the time they've been briefing against fucking women cabinet members, not men. But now it's happening to a man. On me. And don't. I'm. I'm not a homophobe. I'm bisexual. I just don't like Wes. I don't like his policies. I don't like his politics. I don't. I just think I calm down with this little prick.
Who are closest around them. Now, what it means is they've lost the plot. And actually, the public are looking at this.
They lost the plot ages ago, Barry. It was just happening behind closed doors.
You know, the one thing I want to learn, I want this government to learn from Donald Trump is to use power. We have power in this government to act.
So
And
do you
we're
support
not doing
leaving
it
the
decisively.
ECHR? Do you support that?
I'm not going to go there
No, no,
right now.
because that's
I'll
got
tell
to
you
be
why.
the
I'll tell you why I'm
action.
not.
No,
Because
no.
I can see that Nick
Did he just accuse Barry Gardner of being an anti-Semite? Delightful. I thought they'd kicked out all the anti-Semites. I will say again, you can't make this fucking shit up, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Because there's only macro, yeah. Yeah, but no. That doesn't seem to be happening, does it? Funny that a lot of the global north of Western nations, essentially. Well, I say the G7 or the G. Fuck it, I may as well say the G20 because the the top 20 economies in the country in the world, for all intents and purposes, they're all capitalist nations mostly. Uh, there is a better way, a third way, some might say, but no, that one didn't work either. Wasn't enough. How's it going, Bill? Hope you're doing well. Christ, he's looking old as balls, isn't he? So now, how old is fucking Clinton? They're both. Is she older than him? I can't remember. Are they both the same age? Rejoice, comrades! Reza Lindsay! Hi, Reza. Look, Labour Civil War! You can't even pick it up. Praise be. My friend is here. How's it going, Reza? Hillary's older. Yet she still looks up. The world is led by psychopaths. Don't make my face hurt, Mr. E. Wait a minute, Kate. 78, fucking hell.
is getting texts from people. A WhatsApp,
Yes,
sorry.
so
Go on.
one government source has just texted me in the last few minutes saying people sort of need to wind their necks
You're doing it funny.
in, and I'm
Are they
detecting
talking about
from
us?
no what's going on in the Labour Party in the
Naughty
cabinet,
girl.
and I'm detecting from allies of Keir Starmer very much an operation to hose this down. I'm being told the focus of number 10 is to deliver on the mandate from the election, talking about how all this is hypothetical speculation. The Prime Minister won a big
No income tax rises was in that manifesto, Nick. Or Morgan. Looks like she's going to be going back on it. She should never have put it in the fucking manifesto in the first place, but fuck her. I do not like her. She's already tried to fucking come after disabled people. Funless kind also fucking. And now that fucking ghoul. Right, so I don't know if you had me say earlier on, Reza, or not. Be sure your sins will find you out. That won't happen. Not while they're still in government, at least. If you want better voting system, move up here, Reza. You're already an honorary Scot. I have knighted you as such or made you as such. You are Scottish to me. Labour are polling fifth here, by the way, for Holyrood. they're probably going to lose all their constituencies, but they'll probably still get a few in the fucking list system. I don't want reform to get fucking anyone, anything, anyone, any of them, any. And Nigel, please come up to Glasgow. I want to talk to you.
Massive majority, and he's focused on governing. Of course, there, as we reported, he would answer a challenge, and a challenge would be irresponsible, but focused on delivering on the people's priorities and on West Streeting. He is a brilliant health secretary on a key priority for the government.
Why are you laughing? Explain to our audience.
Because, look, because it's number 10 that attacked Wes Streeting, and now they think they've done the job. They think they've now made it impossible for
Oh
anybody to
God,
challenge him.
I didn't know it was that.
What's
I
been
said
going on?
now.
We know that all the newbies, all the new MPs, they've been in a room, they've been talking about, oh, are our seats going to be safe at this rate? Look at the poll rating, it's all terrible. What do we do? How do we get out of this
Right,
mess?
Lisa.
Right? Nick knows exactly what's been going on with them. But the point is this, number 10
Barry's
has
correct.
thought we have to preempt it. We have to now attack somebody, make them show the color of their standard, make them do a challenge if they want to do a challenge, and by doing that, we stop a challenge from happening. And that's the strategy, and it's wrong.
What do you think of that strategy, Baroness Foster?
Well, I think defensiveness never works.
Okay.
If you're going to be defensive against your own colleagues,
Oh my God, Super Hubby will get to this footage in the morning. Obviously, this will probably get put on in the news at some point during the morning when he wakes up. He will say the best defense is a good offense. Kind of military minded. Not tonight, Salt now, but would you be up for a collab and we can maybe educate the people here in the UK, myself included? Don't get me wrong, I know a bit about how how Puerto Rico is basically situated both politically and literally geographically. Obviously, easy finding out where Puerto Rico is. But that'd be a really good fucking stream to do. So we could actually educate people here in the UK about the situation on the ground over there. If you're up for it. My door is always open. Sweet. Carry on, Arlene, you
never mind the
fucking
country.
lunatic.
And I think at the moment the government is being defensive against the country as well, because they're bringing out policies which are hugely unpopular. Barry's talking about young MPs going to lose their seats. Well, perhaps you shouldn't have alienated the entire
The reason that half the only reason the UP get into fucking Westminster is because of first past the post, Arlene. You know that. That's why you're a fucking unionist. That and being a religious fundamentalist fucking nutter. That's why you've got people there, and most of the alliance, some of whom don't take their seats, is one of them, I believe, and all of the Sinn Féin ones. They don't think that place should exist. I agree with them. I'm a Scottish nationalist. I don't think Westminster should be a fucking thing. Ever. Turn it into social housing after it gets fixed. Because please remember, people, that building is old as balls. Some of it. Most of it's from like the 1700s onwards. But there's good portions of it that are from like the 1100s. It's called the Palace of Westminster for a fucking reason. Because a fucking king built it. Yes. Ah, the reason for those two, though, Reza, is because those people, those two individuals, have been in fucking politics since the late 70s. You have to remember that I'm 46. Man Frog's in his 60s, 62 or 3. He's literally just a Gen Xer by a few months. He was born in 1964. So he was Tory youth when he was a late teen, like 17 or 18, something like that. He's been a Thatcherite his entire fucking political life. I'm not, I think he's a little bit older though. He uses the same style of rhetoric, but he modifies it because he obviously born and brought up here in Britain. Commodity trader, blah 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 blah, and all that. The MEP. No, 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 no. He is a political chameleon. Well, not a political chameleon. Chameleon. The wolf and wolf clothing, but it's a cuddly, friendly wolf that will protect you and blow away all the blind people, or all the poor people, or anyone who isn't rich, white, and man. He's politically savvy, which is kind of dangerous, but we can tell now because he's literally been blatant at times. Well, the far right's on the rise across the globe, but especially here in Europe and in the States. Yeah, that's fucking weird, that one. They're going to vote in someone that was literally making fuck off the people that she decimated from changing it to a service.
Rural vote then by bringing out agricultural inheritance tax rules that are going to decimate rural England and rural UK.
Stop attacking the Protestants! When you hear someone say that in an Irish accent, that means stop attacking the Ulster Unionists. We supported you all. We kicked the papists in the teeth and all that sort of fucking shite. And they done the same to us up here in Scotland, by the way. Can't trust the papists. They've got their own king that they have to follow.
So let's not be defensive. Let's listen to what is being said from MPs and the country in relation to what is going on.
And Arlene, that's been the problem. The problem is that this government has not listened to its own people, people within the party. Look, Morris and I won't agree on lots of things, but we engage with each other, we stimulate each other, we try and bounce ideas off each other, and that's what the Labour
Stimulate each other? What's that? I don't use night.
Party always used to be. It used to be a lot of people who disagreed with each other, but knew that actually together they were the progressive force that could take this country forward.
Well, that's where we disagree, because I don't want it to be a progressive force. We've got to be a strong patriotic force that generates solidarity, not
Can't you be both?
diversity.
You do know you're losing everyone that's under my age, Morris. Everyone younger than me, 46 by the way, everyone. Everyone younger than me are going to be voting either SNP or Scottish Greens up here, or Greens in England and Wales, or Plaid Cymru in Wales, maybe Greens, possibly. You're losing everyone younger than 40, essentially. And for all intents and purposes, you've pretty much lost the under 35s. They don't exist to use anymore. And you're going to be losing a lot of Gen Xers who are still working, by the way. Good. Hope she runs screaming from her. She deserves no better nightmares, in my opinion. And just why is she over? Just fuck off, back over. Just go away. Or, well, for all intents and purposes, she does call herself British or UK, even though she was born and brought up in Ireland. I will say again, there is only Ireland. Trust me, they're going for a speed run with this one. Because if it gets completely untenable, you will be forced into calling a general election. At the rate the briefings are happening, we might actually get Holyrood Senate and local elections and a general election all in the same fucking year. It'll be like 1974 all over again.
I know. I think that this progressive thing is over. That was not Thatcher to the end of Blair, right up to the Brexit referendum.
What do you mean by progressive? What do you mean by progressive?
I mean by progressive, it's the last thing you want to hear when you go to the doctor. It's progressive. It's like a way of looking at the world where men are women and up is down and right,
Right,
is
because some
wrong.
people mean progressive is lifting the child.
I'm talking
Right.
about
But that's what the
Right.
progressive idea. I'm
Yeah.
socialist
You're talking about, well,
in that
you're talking
way.
about lifting the two-child
Right?
benefit.
So that's where.
That's
So
what Morris
don't
and I would
hide
agree.
that.
We're
Don't hide
socialists. We are
socialism
democratic
behind this
socialists.
progressive veneer, because progressive is very Blairite.
It's interesting. I've just heard from somebody who is obviously Wes Streeting is not doing any briefings, but somebody who is in that world has just texted to say Barry is spot on.
Now, that's never happened before, let's be honest, Barry Gardner.
That's not true, no,
I
Barry.
see the coalition
I'm winding
between
you up.
the soft left and the Blairites growing. I see it.
The moment I
I hadn't seen this bit. What the fucking... Look at that grin on Nick's face, man. What the fuck? Twisted text. Stop it, stop now. Naughty, naughty, naughty. There's 17 minutes left on Newsnight. They're going to be covering the shenanigans in the America after this, but I'm not entirely sure. So you'll be safe after 17 minutes if you want to go and watch a video or something or listen to a couple of songs.
spot on. Somebody's really lost
Barry,
the
you're
plot.
finished, Barry. Yeah.
Pause for a moment. So we are 17 months
Yeah, Reza.
from that massive general election. The Conservatives suffered a defeat in God knows how many decades.
Since 1832.
The Conservatives.
Yeah, it was the biggest Conservative defeat since
Fair enough.
1832.
You've got a better memory than me.
Well, I was there at the time, yeah.
He was there, didn't he?
Labour, an extraordinary majority. People talked about it being wide and not very deep.
I have tried on so many occasions to read that. I just can't, Mr. E. I can't. Did get through Animal Farm, oddly enough. I think a lot more working class socialists read Animal Farm than they did 1984, oddly enough. Just a pet theory of mine. There's probably evidence out there somewhere in the world, or especially here in Glasgow, oddly enough, probably. I will say again, Labour Civil War happening on Newsnight, fucking hilarious.
Is that relevant to the position you're in now, or is it more about a lack of preparedness or mistakes that were made? And look, every party makes mistakes. Is Keir Starmer not very good at Prime Minister? What is, or is it all of the above?
Look, there are two books that have documented what's gone wrong. One is Get In, and the other is The Fraud. Okay, and
and for those who haven't read those books,
for those who haven't read those books, it's the way in which there was a secret plan to get Keir Starmer elected from a way back, and how they kept everything tight, and they wanted to completely destroy anybody who disagreed with them. And they've done that. They've thrown people out of the party who had no business. Today, how ridiculous this weekend. We've had Rachel Reeves going on there saying, basically we've got to get back to restore the two benefits for two-child, get rid of the cap. 7 of our colleagues were thrown out of the party, suspended from the party for saying exactly that less than a year ago.
That's not why you're that low in the polls, is it, Barry Gardner?
No, it's not. Why we're low in the polls is because there is no clear direction from the Prime Minister. And there isn't one because number 10 is only talking to itself. It's not listening to other people.
Did he not make it clear at the...
The reason they're so low in the polls, huge portions of the country are not liking the policies they're doing. We're not. We hate them. I didn't vote for them, by the way. I voted for Scottish Greens in the general election last year. And I intend to... Give me a minute for this one. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still stuck on this one. They used to say a week's a long time in politics. Apparently 24 hours is a long time in politics here in the UK at this point. Fucking hell. So God knows what's going to happen. Or between today and the 26th.
Labour Party conference, what the direction was?
Well, tell me what it was then.
I am not a Labour MP. You are a Labour MP. Yeah. He's your boss.
Indeed.
Can you not remember?
Stop my government first. The CIA and the certain reactionaries in the States literally just took our publications that we had already printed about 4 or 5 years beforehand. They got propagated in the mid-50s onwards. So when did Eisenhower become president? 1952 or something. Whenever he became president, that's when they ramped up that. They'd already been printed by our government beforehand. And they just took them wholesale and distributed them. They changed some of the elements in Animal Farm. I've read both versions and are both essentially the same. Give or take a couple of different issues, the character references and things. Police officer. God, never forget that he was an imperialist. He might have been he wanted rid of the monarchy and stuff, but he still wanted a sort of hegemon, just not landed gentry, just more thought leaders, if you wish, if you want to give it that spin, essentially. I've tried to read a couple of his other books as well, and I can't do it because I got the first one that I ever read was Animal Farm, and I thought, I like that. I loved that one. I thought it was brilliant when I was a dumb teenager. Then in my late late teens, I'd read Animal Farm when I was 14. By the way, I tried to read 1984 when I was 18, 17 when I was still living up in Perth, and I couldn't do it. I kept on going back. I'd left school at this point, but I kept on going back to my classics and Latin teacher. Said I still can't get through it. I've got a third of the way through it. If you haven't managed to make it past this one page in this book, 1984, you know, don't need to read 1984. And you did suggest try to on the road to moving and blah blah blah. So the only Orwell book I've actually fully read is Animal Farm. Oh, not again.
What he said.
No, because what I do remember.
Oh, ah, fuck off. Fuck it, just keep it there.